Well, we're very thrilled to have with us, Rayne is with us once again on the program.
And our special guest this
Absolutely, no reading
talking
tonight.
about one of your
Leave it for
many
you guys.
talents, which you just seem to have, you know, like a whole library of them.
Oh, look, I've just done so much over my life. I'm not practicing as a kinesiologist or naturopath, but I use it in my shamanic practices. So I do use it here and there. I should use it more. Spirit told me today when I was researching, like, see, you're not doing this. So
well, maybe it's time to sort of pull that out of the treasure kit and start working with it.
Definitely.
But those things are great to have, those modalities, because they can be there for a lifetime. It doesn't matter when you use them. They'll come when they're necessary.
You never stop learning. Yeah. You know, the more you know you don't know. And you just got to keep
that's
learning.
So true,
it's so true, isn't it?
True.
And that's what's scary. You think you're right up there, and it's like, no, I'm not. I'm still down on the third rung of the ladder, you know. And do you ever get to the top? I'm not sure.
You're talking about kinesiology tonight. Exactly what is that?
Okay, so it's the biofeedback of the body, and it's a language to communicate with the body's intelligence. So it will tell you on what's blocked in your body, how it became blocked, when it became blocked, how to unblock it. And Louise is here tonight, and we've been talking earlier because she's actually experienced kinesiology in a really positive sense. There's so many different types of things it can help with. You know, it's structural, it's biochemical, it's emotional, it's psychological, and it depends on the food, the air. Emotions really affect us, which Louise can tell you a little bit about, because we were talking about that. Yeah.
If you were to go to a kinesiologist, though, and they may very well say, well, what brings you here today? It could be something as being not focused on a plan or a wish, or to resolving or helping to resolve a health issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we go about it?
Well, it affects everything. I mean, it's an intelligent system, and it works in vibrational. So if the body isn't flowing properly, if there's something blocked, then the muscle is going to go weak, okay? So basically what we're doing is just, well, let me do an example here. Everybody, I want you to test your necks, okay? So if you turn your neck to the right and then turn your neck to the left, and just be aware of where it's really stiff. So which side is stiff, the right, the left? Yeah, you've felt where the stiffness is. Then one of the quick ways of treating is if you take your ears and you hold them on the tip, so everybody holds their ear on the tip. This is like, hi, and then roll it out, right? And just do that a few times. So you're actually rolling the pieces of your ears out.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up, Scotty. It's like Dr. Spock.
Get my earpiece back, Scotty.
Okay, and then test your neck again. Do it again.
Oh wow. That's amazing.
So that is basically an acupressure point that will release it. It's in charge of all the meridians and stuff, so that will release any stiff necks.
So many people have problems with stiff necks.
Absolutely.
It's like a common thing.
Absolutely. If you're a little bit low of energy, you can tap your thymus. It's sort of like Tarzan, and you just sort of go like this, and this will bring your energy... Oh, sorry, microphone.
Yes, I know, I was just doing the same as well.
Tap gently.
Everyone's just got deaf in the control room, by the way.
Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, you tap, that will bring your energy up.
Tarzan.
If you're in flight or fight, that can be the reflex at the back.
I've heard.
Sorry. That can be the reflex at the back. So if you want to bring your attention and your focus to the moment, you just tap in the front, and that will bring your attention back. So if you're a bit stressed and you know you want to go, you want to fight or flight, then just tap it and it will bring you back into the moment. That's quite a good one as well.
Is there a number
You're
of
very
times
good
you've
at
got
this.
to tap, or is it just
I can just tell. I would be very confident in having a kinesiology session.
Myself as well.
Oh, thank you. It's a process, because you've got to get to the answers. Yeah. So you've got to ask the body, you know, it looks at it holistically. So where is the issue coming from? The medical, as good as the medical are, they treat the symptoms, not really the cause. They're not educated in nutrition and in the emotional states. When does a doctor ever come, and you were talking about this as well, when does a doctor come to you and go, so what's going on at home? How are you actually feeling? Are you stressed by your kids? What's your husband doing? Sometimes this emotional reaction will create the blocks in the energy. Yeah. And that's what we've got to clear. But where is it coming from? A headache doesn't mean let's take a Panadol and get rid of the headache, like the stiff neck. It could be just a point that needs to be unblocked, and you just need to balance. The muscles work in pairs. So if one becomes a bit slack, the other one takes up the tension and becomes knotted. So it's unblocking that tension.
And
so
medication doesn't always necessarily work anyway. There was a
No.
story this week, I think it was on a current affair or the news, that they've now proven that Panadol and some medications actually don't fix.
Actually makes you
stiff
worse. It gives you
muscles
acid.
or headaches.
No.
So.
But the
yeah.
body can heal itself. If it's given the moment and given the chance, it can heal itself. But we put so much stress, like the emotional,
That's
the
the word.
biochemical.
Stress does it every time.
Stress does it. So bring yourself back into the moment
Yes.
and let it go. But the kinesiology will get to the root of a problem.
Rayne, you're with a special lady tonight, Louise.
I am.
Welcome to our show.
thank you
and
so
I love
much.
your green. It's such a happy
yes, I was
colour.
just complimenting
Yeah, you look really sweet.
Oh, it is too.
You've experienced,
soon.
you've experienced kinesiology.
I have, very recently.
What was your story regarding that?
Well, I needed to give up smoking because I have got cancer, quite virulent cancer. And so I said to a girlfriend, look, I've got to give up smoking. And I knew her sister was into healing and hypnotherapy. So I said to her, can you ask Vicky if I can see her? So she rang me and she said, Vicky's ready to see you. So I went up to see her. And we started off, she said, I can't heal your smoking unless I know what's causing it. So this is where she started off with kinesiology. And she went through my body, held the hands, did tapping, did all sorts of things on me. I didn't know what she was doing, but she found the answer to what was actually causing me to smoke. So then she did a healing on me, she did Reiki, she did hypnotherapy, she did tarot, and I walked out a non-smoker. But better than that was 2 weeks later I had to have another CT scan to see how bad I'd become. Well, my oncologist said, this is miraculous. She said, your cancer is shrinking. She said, I have never seen it. She said, what have you been doing? And I told her about my experience, and she said, well, just keep doing that because it is miraculous.
That's what the doctor actually
That's
advised
my...
you.
No, she didn't advise me to do
Well,
it.
she just said
but
just
that's
keep doing that.
After she saw the CT scan, and I mean, my was becoming quite aggressive, the cancer, and it had started to shrink.
So have you continued on with this therapy?
I will.
Seeing the
Yeah, I will.
So that was just from one treatment?
That was exactly one treatment,
How long ago did you stop smoking?
a month.
My goodness.
Do you know, to look at you, you don't look like you've been smoking. Normally,
thank you.
normally you can see in the skin. The skin can look like it's a little bit grey. You can look tired, but I don't see that in your eyes at all.
Well, she did this wonderful thing for me and said to me, now what you've got to do, what I want you to do, is to become the person you were when you were single. And she said, did you like that person? And I said, I loved her. She was great fun. And she said, well, that's what's going to happen to you now. You're going back to that person. And look, ever since I've felt, I don't know, all these wonderful things. Look at tonight. I mean, who'd have thought that I'd be here with you guys? Wonderful people. The whole universe has just opened up for me.
Yes.
It's kind of a little bit like Shirley Valentine. You've gone out and found yourself again. And then found yourself on this show. It's like a lovely experience like she had many of in the movie. That's one of my favourite movies.
Absolutely, I love
of all
Shirley
time.
Valentine.
Yeah.
It says it's never too late to start again and again and again.
Louise, will you continue to keep going through the procedure?
I don't have to, but I will continue to
Yes,
see her
yes.
because she gives me such joy.
Yes. Is there a university course, Rayne, to do kinesiology?
There's a lot of different courses, but there's lots of different types of kinesiology. I don't have the actual list with me, but there's applied kinesiology, there's clinical kinesiology. There's all different types, so you've got to know really what you want to study for. Touch for Health is a great one for releasing emotional, which she would have done with you, and with the ESR.
Yeah, she did.
And that releases a lot of emotions because the emotions are blocking us. You know, the stress factors again. So it depends what you want, but there is a lot of colleges out there. I
Yes.
studied in the UK, so I don't.
Yes.
I'm not sure of the names of the colleges out here.
Leading up to all of this, Louise, would you have felt you were stressed in any way?
Oh yes, yeah. I had a very, very bad experience 27 years ago, and it's held me virtually in a cocoon for all those years. I have done other things, and I have come out of it occasionally, but I always seem to regress back into this cocoon. And yeah, I have been stressed. not to the extent that I was way back then, but certainly now I feel relief. I feel this openness. I feel so different to what I did before I went to see her.
When you were having the kinesiology, at
Yes.
what point during the process did you have like an epiphany?
Not until the very end of when she said, I'm going to pull out a tarot card for you to see if we're on the right track. And she pulled out and she said, I want you to take a photo of this, which I did with my phone. And it was to thine own self be true. And I thought, oh, she said, we're on the right track. We're on the right track. So it was just wonderful.
Do you feel that you would ever feel confident enough to let go of traditional treatment, or would you do them together, combined?
Probably combined. Yeah, I think, well, certainly...
Take the best of
I
both.
have a great... my oncologist, I'm very, very happy with her. And she has been a true friend rather than just a doctor. We go and have a great social time when I go in there to see her. But I like what she says, and she's very... Like, I mean, when I was smoking, she never put me down for smoking. She never said, you
That's
have
important.
to stop smoking or anything like that. She just dealt with what she could deal with. And I have great respect for that.
It's amazing how many incredible healers there are on the planet in whatever form they take.
It's just finding the root to why. Where did it start? And that's what we were talking about before with the kinesiology. You can choose an age. You could have a trauma when you're 9. You could have a trauma when you're 25. And you don't realise that it's been such an emotional shock that it's affected the vital force of the body. So the body can't heal. And another thing is, if you're told you're sick and you believe you're sick, you also can't heal properly because you're blocking that. You know, there isn't such... I don't like saying to people, you're sick. I like saying, you're not at ease. You're a little bit diseased. In other words, you're not sick. It's just your body isn't working. The vital force isn't running. It isn't balanced. So if you can open it up and balance it, then the body is a natural force that will heal itself. You can use crystals, you know, hydrotherapy, acupuncture, osteopath, chiropractic. There's all
Yes,
different
I
systems
find
you
it a
can...
fascinating subject. I don't know much about it, and yet everyone that I've heard, everybody has had this amazing, and I don't like to use that word because it's bandied around so much, everything's amazing,
And that name
but it
belongs
has
to
been an
Amanda now.
amazing experience for a lot of people, hasn't it?
And also, well, I mean, we've talked about the kinesiology, but you're also a naturopath.
Yeah. Well, I've got a diploma in naturopathy.
you're a
Again, you know, if this is just again working with the body's vital force. So it could be anything. You can do exercise, diet, hydrotherapy, supplements, osteopath, kinesiology, massage, herbal medicine, any like that is all within the naturopathy. But it's living in nature and living in balance with nature and eating natural foods. The more organic you can get, you know, you don't want to eat meats. You want to eat more the grains and the greens. Everything that most people know, that's sort of what naturopathy is.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just bringing it to the forefront. And then if you can't do it, why can't you do it? Let's use kinesiology and see what is the block. Or what are your allergies? You know, if you've got an allergy against wheat or milk or sugar, you can test the body. And if the body, the muscle testing goes weak, then you've got an intolerance to it. And kinesiology can pick up things 5 years before blood tests. So I remember a friend doing it to me back in the UK. This is before I did my diploma, and this is one of the reasons I did it. And she said, you've got a problem with your thyroid. And I was like, what's this thing? Kinesiology, muscle testing. But sure enough,
So
5
she
years...
picked up on that with you?
With me. 5 years later, it came up in my blood test. And I was like, oh, I should have taken that iodine. But it does. It picks it up because the body, if it doesn't like something, it's not going to be strong. The muscle's not going to hold. It's going to be intolerant to whatever substance. So, you know, in kinesiology you can have vials, but if you don't have the vials, then you can grab a bit of wheat and you can do a test and see if it's affecting
Can
you.
people test themselves at home? Or
You
it's a little bit
can. You can
too
do it with
hit
the
and miss?
finger testing. You know, so if you think of something positive, like my name's Rayne, it will hold. If I say my name's John, it wouldn't hold as well.
I just
so
said that. I just said to myself, my name's Viv, and then I said, my name's Jack.
Yeah, it doesn't hold. It's very subtle. And also, if you're buying food, you know, this is another thing I learned because I also did vibrational medicine. And you can stand and use your body as a bit of a pendulum. So if you want to know what you're eating and you take, say, an apple and say, does my body... First of all, you've got to test and say, OK, body, tell me what a yes is, and it might go forward. or it might go back, or it might go to the right, or it might go to the left. And you use your body as a pendulum. So you can take that apple and say, do you like this? Is this going to be good for my vital force? And it might go yes, or it might go no. So I do that a lot when I'm shopping. People think I'm nuts. I hold there, I go, yeah, no. Yeah.
Louise, it's...
I'll have to do that with a glass of wine.
I know what it's going to be.
Louise,
We'll go way
you know what,
back.
isn't there shades of Louise that remind you of Louise O'Hays?
Exactly.
I just thought of that then. I was thinking, what is it about Louise? There's something Louise Hayes about you.
Oh, I love Louise.
You can heal your life.
And I was going to say, how do you feel, not at this particular moment, but as we come into this new year, you've really said goodbye to an era, haven't you?
I have. Yes, I've said goodbye to good and bad times. I've said goodbye to those times, and there's all these new... I mean, I just can't believe all the new possibilities that have arisen.
How would you be on the speaking circuit?
I'd love it.
You know what?
Yeah, you'd be awesome for that.
I'm picking up something there. So I just think you're a wonderful woman. I can just see it in your spirit.
Oh,
Yeah, you
What
shine.
an inspiration
You
you are.
absolutely shine.
And she's only
Your eyes
25.
Well, it's thrilling to have you with us, Louise. I hope we
Thank
can
you
get you
so
back.
much, yeah.
Oh, I hope. I'd love to
We'd
come
love to
back.
have you back as well.
Can you also tell us the name of the clinic that you went to, that you had the kinesiology at?
Yeah, well, it's a lady's name, Vicky Chandler, Integrated Therapies, and she's in Victoria, Williamstown.
And if you're in Sydney, you can always go and see Rayne.
Yeah, yay!
With her blessing, we may get some information and pass.
Yes.
We're going to have
Yeah.
viewers asking
Definitely.
about where we could get in touch with her.
Well, she is. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's thrilling to have you with us, Louise.
Oh, thank
We'll have to
you
get
so
her on
much.
Skype if she's from down there.
Rain, thank you for
Thank
coming
you
in.
so
Thank
much,
you,
Rayne.
darling.
It's just wonderful to see you.
And you'll be-
Love you all.
You'll be back on the March 20 show, so I believe.
I will be.
So
yes.
that will be, it was a few weeks away, but it'll be here before we know it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming in, my
Lincoln will
love.
be there.
welcome.
Great to have you with us,
Lovely,
ladies.
lovely to meet you. I love
Let's
you. Just a
turn
joy.
the camera